so that everybody can hear what you have to say and everybody can see you. I don't particularly like being on camera, but I'm stuck with it, so you guys are going to be also. I want to introduce the board in case anybody doesn't know who everybody is. To my left is Danny Matthews. He's the member at large. To my far left is Brian Vincent. He is the secretary and he's going to record tonight. To my right, Dan Evans is the vice president. And to my far right, Larry May is the treasurer. So I want to ratify the approval of the meeting minutes of August 16th, October 4th, October 12th, and October 16th of 2023. Are there any changes to the minutes?
No.
The minutes are approved. Let's move on to approval and ratify actions of the board. There is an agenda up here for some of you who didn't get it, that does list the ratifications. Rather than go through every one of them, we're just going to go ahead and approve them. And if there are any questions, feel free to ask at the end. So I make a motion to approve and ratify the actions of the board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the ratifications are approved. All right. On to the president's report. Since the election in September, the board has met multiple times. It's communicated with one another via text and email constantly. I couldn't ask for a better team than the one we have now. Everyone has a voice. Some of us have very strong voices, and the energy and can-do attitude is fantastic to see. So far we've done the following. We've set the open board meeting schedule. Note that the meetings are all at 7 p.m. and via Zoom because we want to accommodate as many members as possible, including all of our new members, a lot of who might still be working. We've updated our goals and objectives and had them posted to the website. We had the first quarterly committee chair meeting. The main thing we did was we divided the Structures and Grounds Committee into a Structures Committee focusing on HOA-owned buildings and consolidated the Landscape and Trees Committee into a new Grounds Committee. This committee will focus on landscaping, trees, and grass on common areas, as well as down trees on unbuilt lots. We realized the Structures and Grounds Committee was getting very large and unwieldy, and it made more sense to, grounds are grounds, structures are structures. It made more sense to split it to us. We began a review and updating of policies and community reminders to ensure they're in line with our governing documents. That's very important. If we put something out there that doesn't tie into the governing documents, it would be obviously a problem. We continued planning for the drainage improvement project, more on that later. Installed new sod at the clubhouse. Thank you all for the volunteers who did that. And many other routine board matters. So please bear with us as we all work together to get fully organized. We look forward to your the ideas, comments, questions, concerns, whatever you want to throw at us. I prefer to know something than not know it. So if anybody's got anything that is bothering them, please let us know. And me in particular. We'll now move on to the treasurer's report. Larry?
Thank you. This is my first go at this, so please bear with me to not to throw too much or at least hard stuff this way. And if I misspeak or say anything inappropriately, my alter ego over here will correct me on this. So this is our treasury report that we received for the period of time ending 30th of September 2023. And by the way, there are some of these the treasurer's reports up here if you didn't get one. Total operating cash is $268,457.55. The ARC totals are $161,045. Our total assets are $429,502. Our total reserves are $1,204,930. The reserve contributions deposited at the beginning of this year were $262,589. As we talked about before during Dan's tenure, we moved money over that we had from the 2021 surplus to our reserve account. We did that in February, and it was $23,229, which really helped out that account a lot. And I would say that over this, we had one amount that was in a reserve non-capital contingency account that we set up based on input from our previous auditor, and our current auditor had suggested we move that back into just regular reserves. It's just an accounting term that's done internal to the reserve account itself. Had no impact on the number. I will tell you also that in the ratifications, should you see this when I do post it, there was this year as a result of the audit that we just went through a couple, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And our new auditor, we found for fiscal year 2022, we were able to identify $46,507 that we'll be able to remove from the amounts left over 22, put that into the reserve. So that's a big win, coming up with $46,000 more for our reserve account. Operating expenses, we're under budget at $11,766. Administrative expenses, operating expenses, we're under budget by $29,706. We're operating utilities are over, but that's a little bit of a misnomer when you look at the sheet. We're at $33,132, but a part of that portion of that money is actually going to roll over. It's just parked there. We have to count it as an expense when we roll it over into the reserve fund. So, an accounting process. Total operating expenses for the year, thus far for this month, I'm sorry, we are over budget by $8,339, but we're just completed the third quarter, $8,000 over. We typically see those spikes and things during the summer months and those things during the heavy use. So we're expecting that to hopefully drop a little bit, but $8,000 over is not too bad considering of our expenses over the year. I'll skip over to the back and just talk a little bit about the reserve fund. 2023 reserve expenses as of to date, we're at $29,497. We've had no expenses since May. So we've had zero for that. All of this happened before then, which is pretty good. So we still got we're at $29,497. That's all we've expensed out. Our delinquencies for total delinquency, $35,559.58. Our liens filed to date at $26,094.05. We have 7 of them. And in foreclosure status, that's $9,465.53. That number has significantly been reduced over the last year and the year before. So we're seeing a good gain from those areas. Are there any questions? Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the committee reports. And I have the first one, the ABC POA. In case anybody doesn't know what the ABC POA is, it is a group of 28 HOAs who's banded together so that we have a voice in the legislature, so we can work on things like overcrowding, water supply, what have you. And we meet once a month at the Brunswick Electric Company. So right now they're having I will say they, because I've only been to one meeting. The representation at meetings is still low, and the president of the HOA POA is trying to figure out how to improve that. There's been no great detail on that yet. They're closely watching the outcome of House Bill 542 that would restrict the ability of HOAs to collect delinquent assessments, which is something very important to us. They're continuing to advocate against overdevelopment in Brunswick County, concerns about water resources, transportation, roads, and infrastructure. Activities project completed since the last report, there are none. Activities project planned to start within the next 6 months. Review of the bylaws and executive committee structure, and move into more Zoom meetings. Current operating budget is none. Reserve budgets are none. So next we have the ARC. Oh, in front of the podium. Thank you, Les.
Doctor, very good. If I knew this camera's so close, I would have shaved. Yeah. Les Weintraub, one of a 3-member team. George, Don Testament, who is also in Tennessee tonight, and myself. I'd like to go over some of the things the ARC has been doing since actually the annual meeting, which was only about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. This document, although just prepared 48 hours ago, wait as long as we can to prepare a report because things change You talk about a living document. The ARC is a living document. It changes all the time. So some of this information I have right now is not accurate anymore. But let me give you the best picture I can. Presently, we have 28 homes under construction. Now, I thought July and August, things were slowing up just a bit. We were hoping it was slowing up a bit. We got slammed in the last 2 days with 5 new builds. My report reflects 1. Let's add 4 more to it. When I say slammed, it just came all at once. Not that it's an impact to us. We have it under control, but it just came all at once. Right now, between the occupied homes and the homes that will soon be occupied under build, we have approximately 167 homes filled to capacity right now. And I think there's some discrepancy here. We're talking with Mike this morning. We think that might even be 177 homes. We're going to look at our documents and really get that tighter. But even if it's a low number, that gives us almost 36% capacity. Obviously, if it was 177, if that's more accurate, it would be higher. And again, it's just this week, although I'm going to talk about some of the improvements that people are requesting with our community, it's still not a complete picture because just today we've got requests for a pool and a shed, which is not reflective at all. But some of the things that we're up against, not up against, or happy to approve and work with our community, are things such as flagpoles, generators, fencing, shed, pools. What pools than I've ever thought we would have in here. So we have that. And many, many requests for removing dead and diseased trees. As the year goes on, trees just, they come down and they're a hazard to the homes if they're too close. And many people, because of the age of the homes now, are replacing roofs. It's happening all throughout our community. We also have noted with the number of builds that have been going on that there have been more builder violations than we've ever had in the past. So we're being as vigilant as we can. We get around at least once or twice a week to all the builds. But one thing that I think is important, having another set of eyes is a great thing here. We get, I know I can speak for myself, multiple phone calls during the course of a week to say, did you know that they're taking a tree down? Did you know that there's a piece of equipment? And the answer is, I didn't know that one. Let me get over to that lot. Well, yes, I do. We have an application for that. That's helpful when there's so much is going on to have more sets of eyes help us. So we encourage that. Do not hesitate to contact any one of us. Again, that's Mike, that's Don, and myself. And unless the board has any questions.
Boats and docks, Bruce.
The Boats and Docks Committee report here. Couple things we're looking at, kind of current ongoing, is developing a plan to expand the boat storage area. Right now, we've got 10 people waiting to get into the boat storage area. We're looking at some alternatives to expand again onto the asphalted parking lot, but maybe not quite as elaborate as we had in the past. We've done some repairs to the floating dock. We're also getting quotes along the boat ramp. There's a 6x6 rail there along the edge to help keep the boats, on the ramp. Those are starting to deteriorate. They're from 2010, 2012. So we're looking to replace those possibly with concrete or some sort of hard plastic, something that'll last longer than the timbers. And we continue to monitor the usage of the ramp and the boat storage area. things that have been completed. We did get the new gate up that replaced the damaged gate from the tree and installed some new signs there on the gate also. So really the things we hope to get done in the next 6 months is expand that boat storage area, power wash the concrete portion of the boat ramp, replace those rails, and the entrance into the boat storage area gets a lot of traffic, and that gravel there gets pushed down, and we need to, get rid of that puddle hole that we're starting to dig there. Currently, we've got no operating budget issues, reserve issues, and Charlie Collins has been approved as a new member on our committee. Questions?
Thank you, Bruce. Next thing at the clubhouse, Carlos on here, and then we'll be on.
Ongoing activities, project status, no action to report at this time. Budget issues not known at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
You really got stressed out over that.
Yeah, practice that one.
All right, communications, Bert.
On my back, but it is my best part. Okay, I'm an engineer, so numbers are important. We did 84 web updates year to date. We added 55 new users. We sent 140 MailChimp messages, and those numbers are climbing daily. We issued 3 versions of the Pearl, and we hosted 8 Zoom meetings. Projects completed since last report. The big one is we identified HOA Start as a potential software package, replacing the current WordPress website, MailChimp, and SurveyMonkey packages. Many aspects of our current system can be streamlined into this single package. Our members can choose to customize which type of communications they receive from Oyster Harbour, and will be able to add text messaging capabilities, document handling and storage, event registration, amenity reservations, and a user dashboard are just a few of the features offered. So within the next 6 months, the biggie is we'll be implementing HOA Start, and that will require input from the board and all of the committees. We have to figure out where documents go, what documents are important. So we'll need to get that from all of you. We also need to set roles and responsibilities with the software amongst the team members, and we anticipate this will take approximately 3 months. Other projects on the board, but lower priority: explore replacing the signboard out front with an electronic sign that we can change and put multiple messages up at a time, and purchase additional equipment for Zoom meetings. No other outstanding budget issues or reserve budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Bert. Facilities planning, Dave's not here. Larry, you got facilities planning? You want to read that one, please?
Thank you.
It's in your pack somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Current activities, project status, reviewing the proposed reserve expenditures for the remainder of 2023 with the board. The FBC is exploring alternative sources of revenue to improve our overall level of reserve funding for future years. Activities, projects completed since last report to board, none. Activities, projects planned to start within the next 9 months or 6 months, I'm sorry. The FBC will meet with the board and committee chairs early in 2024 to review the proposed reserve expenditures for the year. Committee purpose membership changes. We have at least one vacancy on the committee due to Dick Rio's retirement. We would like to thank Dick for his long years of service and contributions to the committee.
Thank you, Larry.
And so with, Danny?
Yeah, I do, and Dick Rio to this community is a major part of the heartbeat of Oyster Harbour. I was hoping he was gonna be here tonight, but I'm gonna make sure that this message goes down for him. If you don't know him, you need to know him. He is a dear individual with a heart as big as his clubhouse. He has dedicated so much time and energy to this community with things behind the scenes that no one has any idea. He has gone through all the mapping of all the sewer systems, the drainage systems, the landscaping. He's devoted 19 years of his life to this community. And for me, he's become a huge friend, an amazing friend that has supported me like I can't tell you. I can't say enough positive about Dick Rio and what he means to Oyster Harbour, what he has meant to me. And if you see him in passing, please thank him for what he's done. I've sat there today looking at going, so you know what, maybe we need to name structures and grounds the Dick Rio Committee or something. But he is an amazing guy, soft-spoken, but carries an amazing amount of knowledge. And you know, I could go on all night for the things that he's done to this community and for this community. And so all I would ask is throughout all the property owners and all the people that live here, that when you see him, remember what he did for us so we can move forward. And I don't know that there's enough words for me to thank him for all he did for me as a board member, for us as a community to understand where everything is hidden, because he knows. So I hope he's listening tonight. Thank you, Dick.
All right, thank you, Danny. Landscaping. John, did you want to handle that one?
Sure.
Thank you. Well, I gave you an option.
No, actually, this might be an historic report because I understand landscaping is going to be going away to grounds. So it's going to be called grounds. Anyway, yes.
Just rename.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving this report for Tom and Lauren Cotton. So basically, it's not a whole lot different than the report that was given about 5 weeks ago at the annual meeting. As I say, the persons are Tom and Lauren Cotton. Current ongoing activity project status. Several men in the community volunteered to trim low-hanging tree branches along the swales. I can say that project is completed. Activities/projects completed since the last report to the board. Finished cleaning around the ponds, cut bushes around the clubhouse, and normal maintenance. Activities/projects planned to start within the next 6 months. Finished bushes at the entrance. Cut grasses in the boat storage area. And what they usually do this time of year is trim the palms. That would be basically in the entrance and around the clubhouse here. Budget issues? None. Committee purpose/membership changes? None. And that concludes. Any questions?
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Member orientation, Judy.
I'm Judy George, co-chair with Mary Ann Iden for the Member Welcome and Orientation Committee. We are right now doing our final planning for our next event, which is going to be held this coming Tuesday, October 24th. We have, don't let me skip. We're updating documents for the event and for our website to reflect the new board of directors and the committee chairs. And right now we're completing the information packet and getting it printed up for the event. We invited 23 new owners via email, 9 via USPS, and 5 delivered invitations for a total of 47 invitations. No, that's not right. 20, I think it's 37. I did bad math. 37. Okay, that's not right.
I'm excited.
There were a lot names on the list for but they were spec homes or developers, and we did not invite them to the member welcome. We want homeowners and lot owners. So and we also purchased a gift card for the raffle. When next 6 months, we're going to review the event of Tuesday, and then we're going to start planning for our next event, which will be in April. We have no budget issues and no other changes. Thank you. Thank you.
Ponds and fountains, Bill.
Good evening. I'm Bill Justice, along with my other committee person, Jim McGowan. We are responsible for the ponds and the fountains. Fortunately, at this time, from an equipment standpoint, all of our well pumps, fountain pumps, and lights are functioning properly and operating. A couple ongoing items that we have noted of late, more than of late. Eagle Lake is extremely low in water quantity due to weather conditions more than anything else. And the fountain has had to be turned off since mid-August, and it remains off. We've checked it periodically after these major rainstorms, hoping that it would regain some runoff and or accumulation from rain, but it just hasn't happened. And that pond was originally depthed at about 4.5 feet where the fountain sits. I'd say right now it's probably sitting in under probably 2 to 2.5 feet of water. And with the uptake of the fountain pumps, that's just not functional. So just keep your fingers crossed for more rain, or we have to adapt some sort of plan to either deepen the area where the fountain sits, or come up with another source of water to add that. There is wells on 3 of our lakes. Unfortunately, that one does not have a well pump on. One other sort of a housekeeping item is that we have, as I said, 3 wells on pumps. 2 of the pumps are manually controlled. We're controlling the pump at Cardinal Lake in a manner that is functional, but probably needs some revision. I'd like to see that we put a switch, just a switch, as opposed to manually controlling that pump with the breaker. When you start tripping those breakers off and on that frequently, we're looking at probably turning it on and off at least every 2 weeks. Then we probably should take positive action to get that switch on there. We've located the place for the switch. It's a minor cost, so we'll probably work with our liaison, Dan, to get that done here shortly.
Bill, didn't we have a automatic leveler on Cardinal? Is that
Just poop out?
Well, there's 2 options for that besides the switch. The other is to do the repairs and the troubleshooting and the repairs on the automatic level. All that equipment is still there. It has been abandoned in place. It's bypassed now. We had a lot of electronic or electrical issues with it back in late 2022, I think. And then when we finally got the pump running again, we just basically stayed with the cost was the issue. We stayed with just using the breaker to turn the pump on and off. And It's a good question because the same exact setup is on Mallard Lake and it functions beautifully and hasn't had a problem one. But this same identical set of equipment was nothing but a problem child. And so there's some research to be done there to find out if someone can take a look at it. Other than who, we had one individual that worked with us for a while and he just couldn't satisfactorily fix the thing. So if we get somebody else in there to take a look at it, they may come up with a solution that's reasonably inexpensive to get it back on automatic. I'd love to see that, getting it back on automatic. Up at Palmetto Lake, Jim had reported to me right before I wrote this report that there's some structural work that needs to be done to help support that panel box on that particular timer for the pump timer in the two boxes. So they're in the ground, supported by these wooden structures and panels mounted to them. So over time, it just has gotten a little shaky. Just needs to get some support. So we talked about that the other day. So we'll get some info on what it would take to put that back together.
So the two posts are just eroding, is that right? The posts there, hold it up, it's wearing out. They're shaking. We took down the map of Oyster Harbour, the entrance here that had two posts on. And it's in surplus right now. I think over at both storage units. So there's two posts right there and it works out. You could just take the two main one, or one that we have. Hopefully fine. You want both? Aaron price shit up.
We'll take a look.
So take a small thing.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Yeah, for a small thing. Okay, so then another issue that we had recently, again with a fountain pump, was at Osprey Pond where there's a lot of filamentous algae floating on that. I know all these lakes. You go out through the golf courses, every lake's got this stuff floating in it at this time of year. Hopefully the cooler weather will help curtail some of that. But we did mechanically have the lake company remove a lot of that debris back from the fountain. So hopefully we can maintain it from creeping up there again and plugging the fountain. And then this is going to be one of our timely events coming up. We will be retiming all the pumps and the fountains for the ending of daylight savings time. And we're going to reset the pumps to come back on at during the day at 12 o'clock and go off at 11. The lights will come on at 5:30 and go off at 11. So, and we'll probably do that between now and then. So even before November 5th, you may see your pump or fountain on earlier, but that'll only be for a short period until the time catches up with. Anything? Questions? Anything? All right. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, safety and preparedness.
That's a lot more.
I'm gonna just deviate from the prepared comments for just a second and say that one of the items that's before the board tonight, when you get from your business, is the community watch program. And I'm gonna be talking about that in a little bit, but I wanted to give Bill specific credit because he is the one who now did all the research on this, contacted the sheriff's department and spent a lot of hours putting this together. So thank you, sir. Okay, safety and preparedness has been first. Well, actually, I want to do one other thing first, and that is to thank the board for their secret vote in April.
What?
Your secret vote in April. No, it's past the season. I don't keep the secret. When you all got together and voted there'd be no hurricanes this season, we appreciated it very much because we weren't as prepared as we could have been. But now next year we'll be prepared. So you can bring in whatever name you'd like. Okay. In terms of ongoing activities and projects, we have a connection now with Brunswick County EMS. And the ability to offer no credit, no cost. First aid, CPR, and AED classes as the community may wish to have them. And I've been talking to those folks, and they'll offer adult, they'll offer pediatric, they'll offer a grandparent class, they'll offer whatever we want. They'd like a minimum of 8 folks. If they get over 12, they'll bring a second paramedic with them to assist. So that is a place where we need some guidance in regard to what classes. There are some open dates in November if we're ready for that. In terms of the town hall with the Tri-Beach Fire Department, ongoing activities, and that include the E911 signs. If you could show pictures up, show it there, I appreciate it. These can be ordered from the fire department. They are $10 a piece, which goes to the fire department. And Larry can take reservations for them. I can take reservations, or Bert is putting a form up online that goes directly to the fire department. And they will make a sign for you and deliver it. Also, they have a home inspection program that I want to mention that is free of charge. And they will check your fire alarms, and they will check everything in your house as it relates to fire safety. And that is all done through Tri-Beach. So just contact them. We have made the arrangements with them, and they will work with homeowners directly and individually. It doesn't go through our committee. There is the Community Watch Program, which we just talked about for a minute, which is up for discussion tonight. And it is informally started with the members of the committee being the first members. We hope to expand that out once it's formally approved by the board. It works with the Brunswick County Sheriff's Department, and in their impact division, which is improving public awareness and community training. We have had a meeting where 2 of their deputies came out and gave us detailed discussions in regard to it and what we need to do. And they are willing to work with us as a committee and the board in general to get this program up and operational as fast as we can do it. And we are continuing our work with the communications committee over there with disaster preparedness for next year when they don't take the vote. So what can I say? Okay, that's ongoing projects. Activities that we've completed since the last report to the board. We've had a town hall with Tri-Beach. Many of you attended. We have refined our EOC, or Emergency Operations Center, policies and procedures, which was approved by the board a while back. And we have the neighborhood, I wrote it down as neighborhood here, but it's community watch policy, which will be presented later on this evening. And a key box has been put up over in the water park for the fire department to access the boat dock in case they have a water rescue. It is the most secure thing I've ever seen. It takes 3 keys to open it, but it is up and it has a key in there. Projects that we are planning within the next 6 months. We have a town hall scheduled for January, at least to be scheduled for January, with the Sheriff's Department Impact Division for the Community Watch to bring everybody on board. Included in that will be a policy on incident reporting procedures and pattern analysis, so we can find out what's going on around here. So, and since Monday, I was informed that the road paving will start in 24. We have put back the traffic calming policy on our agenda to take a look at again. And for those of you who are not familiar with the term, traffic calming basically means any kind of speed control. That's the fire department name for it. And we are at the request of the board on the Monday meeting again. Y'all didn't think I was paying attention. We are going to do a mission statement review. And if there are any changes, then of course we'll inform you as such. Current operating budget issues under review. We've got about $100 spent on the signs for the community watch as planned. Reserve budget issues, none, and there are no committee changes. And in terms of the E911 signs, I have some forms. If anybody wants to order one through me, they can. And if they want to go out on the website and get this form, which goes directly to the fire department, then they can order it. They need to mark it as a vertical sign rather than horizontal, because the fire department will do either. Questions?
I'm not, please. I can say something, sorry. A couple important things. These classes for CPR, AED training, first aid, all those things are very important. And they're opened up in the community. And the business should, somebody's laughing. Let's face it, the opportunities out there for somebody to think people have to go to CPR training. And not only all of it, so this can be favorable. So a lot of emphasis and a lot of negotiating permitted with EMS systems of the county. They're willing to do this at no cost. And I'm going to be where, you know, I say when I find my, so I appreciate it. I don't have better. And you know, this thing is involved too, right? Yeah. I was a lot of it, right? Just curious, battery charging, which came to that, I guess. We came to agree. Either. So yes, it hasn't changed. We pulled this out playing when we had our last course of stuff. So this was very, very helpful to know how to use this. But the first aid is important too, because we live on the water. We're always out doing things, a lot of kids in the area, so it could be young and old. I'll stop this thing with one.
Let me make one other comment on these signs. We had an incident about 6 weeks ago, in which an individual had a heart situation in the subdivision, and his wife called 911, and they said, go out in the street and stand and flag down the ambulance, because otherwise they won't find you. And they now have one of these signs. And luckily everything worked out well there, but if it had been a situation where it required CPR, whether it had required holding an artery shut or something else where you can't go out on the street, these signs are well worth the $10. If the board is able, with the help of the community, to give us a possible type of first aid class, I have some dates that Larry's aware of, and would like to get the paramedics scheduled for sometime in November for a first class, if possible.
We'll discuss it. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, thank you.
Nice, committee, yes. Everybody start talking, it's simple. Anybody bring food? Oh, my turn? Okay, there we go. All right, our queen is Carla, so she runs a tight ship, and that's good. Currently going on, our committee continues to meet on the second Tuesday of every month. Our next event is the Halloween party on Friday, October 27th at 7 p.m. at the clubhouse, featuring live music provided by Baxter and Lacombe. Costumes are optional, BYOB, and a snack and dessert to share. I bet you've never heard that. Activities completed. Since the last report, the end of season celebration was attended by 81 paid participants. Meal was catered by Smithfield's Barbecue and Chicken. Entertainment by Kelvin Andrews of Veterans Vocal Vibe, say that fast, DJ services at the water park. Attendees provided wonderful desserts. Very successful event. Following our October meeting, committee members worked to clean and organize the clubhouse kitchen and storeroom. We try to do this at least once a year. I need to let you know that our kitchen has become a place that when people downsize their own kitchen, they bring it here because they think we might need it someday. We don't need it. We don't want your trays or deli things or anything like that. Anyways, we had lots of hands helping with that. The committee approved a plan to provide seasonal decorations for the clubhouse. Oh, did you guys notice them? Yeah. Barbara Gleason and Patty Christopherson will take charge of making sure that the clubhouse foyer and main room are decorated and inviting, and they sure did. Over the next 6 months, the Wish Upon a Star project will begin in early November. This project provides much needed support for local needy families, and children. Watch for details about how you can participate. Harvest Soup and Trivia Night, Friday, November 10th at 6 p.m. Members will be asked to bring their favorite soup, and then you go around with your own mug and you taste them all. It's very delicious. Beth, somebody I know, will take charge of Trivia Night. Annual Community Holiday Decorating, Monday, December 4th at 10 a.m. Lunch is provided, co-hosted by Structures Committee and Grounds Committee. Community Craft Fair, Saturday, December 9th at 10 a.m. Holiday Party, Cookie Exchange, followed by the Golf Cart Parade, Saturday, 12/16 at 4 p.m. And the New Year's Eve celebration, December 31st at 8 p.m. Music will be provided by DJ Kelvin Andrews of Veterans Vocal Vibe. We don't have any budget issues. Cash on hand is $101.48. As of 8/31, $2,045.57 remained in the committee's 2023 budget. Committee purpose, membership changes, we don't have any. There you go.
Thank you. Yes.
I know it says structures and grounds, and then with before we split the heart, and I don't see either John or Bill here. Wow, you're right.
So, yes, starting next, I guess, well, starting now with, the Structures Committee. And John and Bill are both co-chairs of the committee. Current ongoing activities, project status, putting, out and taking the clubhouse trash and recycling cans, monitoring street light performance, maintaining guardhouse, US and state flags, monitoring the clubhouse, defibrillator battery to avoid outage, monitor pool lights, equipment and facility and repair as needed, change clubhouse refrigerator filter as needed, change light timers for clubhouse and pool twice per year, or if power outage, monitor clubhouse exterior lighting and replace bulbs as needed. Activities and progress completed since last report to the board. Solicited updated bids on pressure washing Oyster Harbour structures. Replaced fluorescent bulbs in clubhouse gym. Installed window coverings at Oyster Harbour Gatehouse, which we installed and took down. It did not look well. Pressure wash clubhouse entrance ceiling and walls. Pressure wash Oyster Harbour Gatehouse. Assisted in layering new sod at clubhouse and entrance. Fertilized new sod. Repaired painted bicycle racks at clubhouse and near pickleball courts. Reinstalled missing light at kiddie pool. Replaced rotten base trim at gatehouse and missing base trim at water park gazebo. So they've been extremely busy. Activities projects planned to start or already started. Work with BOD on pool house storage expansion if needed. Assist BOD with any major items where grounds has the skill and labors to do it. Identify and install shelving at guardhouse for additional storage once BOD approval. Replace pool storage room door. Replace repair fascia boards on water park gazebo walkway. Estimate $230. Replace pool area hose. Snake pool shower drain. Grounds has tried and would need a vendor to do it. Clean out all pool house drain pipes. Carpenter bees drilling into pool house need a vendor to exterminate. Repair, replace dead man post at entrance and back gate or come up with better solution. Decking at clubhouse entrance needs to be sealed with clear stain. Additional gatehouse and water park gazebo trim needs replacing. And dock electrical conduit needs to be secured to walkway. Current operating budgets, issues none, and reserve budget issues none. And no changes to membership.
Right, thank you, Brian. I think we'll just ignore the tree thing right now because we actually don't have a report. We'll try again next time.
Well, trees,
But
as
you
of this
can go
point, will
ahead.
be rolled into the ground
Ground.
committee.
I do, just as an aside on the tree, I know that down trees have been reported to Waccamaw, and they have sent out letters to the affected members requesting that they cut up their trees and remove them, so it looks a little bit better. Okay, moving on, unfinished business. Larry, do you want to speak to this? This is a review of all OH policies and community reminders.
Sure. Judy and I have taken what extra time we have and decided that in looking at the different documents and things that we have, this is part and parcel of kind of what we're working with Bert and looking at the website, that we want to take a look at all of our guidance documents, look at our community reminders, all of the guidance that we have posted, and really take a look to see what is indeed part and parcel from our guidance documents themselves, the CCNR, the state statutes, bylaws, et cetera. What we're trying to do is go back and make them more uniform and make them consistent. There are, I guess, policies and procedures and things that have been followed over a period of time, and we want to align them again to our governing documents. And we want to make them decide what is and is not appropriate for the community. We'll bring it back to the board and discuss these things, and we're going to begin with basic policies, such as those that we've already started with the golf cart and the APE policy. And we're just going to run down the list. And we as a board are going to take a look at those things that are really what we think are important to the community itself based on the input and feedback that we're getting. And we want to streamline them again. The intent is to be as consistent and repetitive and repeatable as possible, be as fair-minded as we can, and leave no room for doubt on where things are. And then that way we bring it back to the community, we post them to the website, and everybody understands what our policies and procedures are. And I think we owe that to the community, we owe it to ourselves, and that's an initiative that the board is has undertaken already. This is a time-consuming process because anybody who's looked at our guidance documents from the CCNR, the bylaws, the state statutes, and those things, there is a lot of room for interpretation in some of the things that have occurred previously during their first 20 years. And so what we want to do is set the stage for the next 10 to 20 years. So, okay, Judy.
All right, thanks, Larry. The other piece of this unfinished business is the stormwater drainage project we've got going on. Danny, could you speak to that, please?
Good news. We have actually, we have all our bids in, and you know, our goal was to try to complete this project by the end of the year, and it looks like we're going to be able to make that. The good news is that our bids have come in and they are considerably lower than we had anticipated, which is great news for the community. Because they've come in lower than we anticipated, we've asked the low bidder at this point to go back and review. And let me explain what I mean by this. The Structures and Grounds Committee at the time went back and reviewed the entire community and rated all of the drainage structures 1, 2, and 3 based on demand or needs. Obviously, 1 being the worst, something we had to identify right away, 2 being something that could be looked at later, and 3 being that it's okay. So when the bid came in, we asked them to go back and identify all the rated 2 structures as well, which would put us at a brand new position. If we're able to put those bids together and do all of the 1 and 2 rateds, we should be good for the next 20 years. So those bids are starting to trickle in. We haven't even had a chance to discuss them yet. There's 17 additional drainage structures in the community that have to be addressed that are either, and when I say rated, either the riprap, which is the filtering system for the drainage, or the pipe itself under the structure. And that would be both of those sides on the 17 that I'm talking about. So keeping my fingers crossed that this is going to come in and we are going to be able to do 100% of 1 and 2 rated, which gets this community in a really good place and gets us ready for resurfacing in 2024. So it's going really better than I anticipated. So hang on, it's coming.
Thanks, Danny. Moving on to new business. The board went over our goals and objectives for 2023, 2024. They're posted on the website. Please take a look at them. If we don't mention the goals, then be sure to ask us about them. It's not that we've forgotten about them, but we probably decided to update it, probably forgotten to update everybody on them. Hold us to our goals. If we're not doing it, let us know. Keep us on track. We ask for all of your help to help us keep everything rolling like we want it to. Ditto on the quarterly committee chairs and board meetings. We made a promise to meet with all of our board chairmen every quarter. We may not have a lot to say, but it's a good way to get together and talk about any problems that might be going on. Again, that's another one. Committee chairs, please hold us to those meetings. We do intend to have them. We don't want to forget. We didn't do such a good job on those last year. The Structures and Grounds Committee restructuring, we spoke to that. HOA start, Bert spoke to that. The board has approved that program. You'll see it on the ratification list. It's going to be a game changer. From what I understand after speaking to Bert and talking to Larry, our current website is antiquated. It's built layers and layers. It was kind of a hodgepodge of things put together, and it's very hard to manage. This will allow us to actually target certain groups so that everybody and his brother, all 471 lot owners, don't get every e-blast if they live in Montana and don't care about what's happening with the back gate. So we'll be able to target some of that. We'll be able to do a lot of other neat things with it. So,
Judy, if I might just add something
yes.
too. One of the nice things about this, if you want to see what the representative provided us, we had a demonstration of this program, and it's significant. Anybody in here that may be familiar with Town Square or some of the other platforms used by other HOAs, this is going to bring back the autonomy to our association here, not managed by their property manager, a management company. We'll have control, you'll have control on how you opt in, how you opt out. It gives us calendars, it gives us survey capabilities, it gives us texting, it gives us emails, both just on routine type things and in emergencies, such as during storms and things like that. So it's going to give us a lot of capability. It's going to force us to work a lot of hours because burden is true, and some board members will be responsible for looking at all the stuff and get rid of the old stuff. I don't know who that's going to be. Anyway, that's the.
It's gonna be really sweet.
Yeah, it'll be really nice.
It's very
really
nice.
awesome.
And if it don't work, I don't know who.
Larry,
Don't say that.
It's Larry.
It's gonna work.
It's gonna work. It's gotta work. Thank you.
All right, Bob spoke a little bit about the Community Watch program. The board hasn't had an opportunity to discuss it yet, but it's on our list of things to get to quickly. Okay, we're now at the point where anybody who wants can ask a question. If you have a question. Yes, Jim, please come up to the microphone. I know.
Just have a question about this HOA start. Is that the actual name of the software?
That's the name of the company, and it will be branded Oyster Harbour.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
It's wow. Oh my God, they're cold. Well, we got to let it all easy. Yes, you.
That's a question about HOA start. I'm Judy Georgia, and we're talking about another, however many $1,000 it was, that wasn't a large amount. But if we're not using MailChimp and all this other stuff, so then that expense goes away and it's picked up by the new company. Okay.
Hello, everyone. First, I want to thank the board and everyone who has committed a lot of time to the committees. I'm a new homeowner here, and I have to be honest with you. And Judy, your opening comment about you want to hear what our concerns are, I do, so forth. The entryway to Oyster Harbour honestly is deplorable. I want to know, what is the board going to do? And I'm willing to volunteer. I've asked to be on the landscape committee, so I know there's some restructuring. It's an embarrassment to drive in here. The lack of irrigation, the lack of plantings, the landscaping. If you drive around to any other community, they put us to shame. I don't think this is my feelings alone. I've spoken with other new homeowners. We all feel the same. I understand that foundation is crucial, the roads, of course, but we can't put all of our money into structures, grounds, foundation, and leave the beautification out of the fact, the picture. So is there a plan in 2024 to take care of these things?
There actually is not. I'll let Danny speak to the irrigation. Usually the bushes that I'm familiar with, what's happened in the past, they get replaced if they get too old. Keep in mind, the budget for 2024 is already set. So the best way to address all this stuff is to make your suggestions and to look at it for the next budget year, which will be 2025. But with that being said, 2024, we do have some discretionary funds we can use. Not a whole lot, but we have some. So if you're volunteering for the landscape committee, which is not landscape, which will now become the grounds committee, work through your committee chair, make some suggestions to your liaison, let him bring it back to the whole board, and let's see where we can go from there. That's the best I can offer you at this point, whatever suggestions you come up with. Sure.
I think we need to do something. Like I said, it's an embarrassment to try to.
Okay.
Outstanding property. I mean, and I wish that there was someone like the ARC does a phenomenal job at telling the homeowners, you have to have this, you can't have that. There's an image that we need to portray. When it comes to common grounds, no one says anything. There's garbage and when I say garbage, I mean broken up concrete, items that have been dismantled over in the boatyard area. I honestly, I don't want my house to look like that. So why are we allowing this to go on? Little pockets in the community of things being accumulated that are no longer serving a purpose.
Actually, they will be serving a purpose. They just haven't been repurposed yet. The broken up concrete and some of the other stuff will be used as fillers.
Okay.
We've got other pieces of fencing back there that we plan to put up. Danny, you can speak to some of that more than I can.
Yeah, we've got, we do have plans for the things that are there. The gate arm and the mechanism that operated the gate arm is going to be relocated. It's going to be out of sight. We're not going to dispose of it because it costs this community over $4,000. In the event that we were to reinstate or ever have guards again, it would be a tragic thing for us to have destroyed it, thrown it away when it could be reused and it's perfectly okay. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to relocate it and get it out of sight so it's not seen. There is a plan for that. As far as the broken up concrete was an opportunity for us to be able to work with our coming contractor, the contractors coming up on the structures. What a lot of people didn't realize is the recycled concrete is also riprap. And there were some statements made that said, well, why would you want to use recycled concrete? All of the riprap that we just restored on all the ponds that no one's ever actually noticed or seen is all recycled concrete, every piece of it in the entire community, and it looks awesome. So when we had the opportunity to have this at no cost, we decided to utilize it throughout the structures with our contractor, and it's going to save us money when we go back and put it there. Was it the greatest thing to have it sitting right at the boats and docks entrance? Probably not. But that is why it's there, and it's not going to stay. It's got a purpose. It's going to have a home. So that part is going to be handled. And as far as the fencing that's concerned, that's there in the entrance, fencing's been there way too long.
Yeah.
But the good news is it has a plan, and it's going to go back in place. It's actually all in really good shape.
Mhm.
The only thing that happened was the vines grew over it, and when the vines got sprayed and died, and God, there's the fencing. But we have plans to stop some of the traffic that we have in the neighborhood right now. We have a fencing contractor, actually two of them, giving us pricing to stop the golf carts, the ATVs, and the bicycles even that are riding through our back gates and riding through our front gates. And we're going to utilize that fencing to make it proper for us to secure our community.
Okay.
So there are plans for it.
Right.
Be patient with us. And I will speak to some other things as far as the front entrance. We have discussed several things that are happening right now, so just stay tuned. There are some things that are ongoing, and what we're trying to do is to make everything the best for the community we can and spend the least amount of dollars and get the biggest bang for our buck. Is that okay?
Right.
So just watch. There are things going on.
And I appreciate it, and I'm not trying to be confrontational.
Didn't
but
take it that way at
No,
all.
not at all.
I kind of feel like, am I the only one? Why haven't these things been addressed? As far as the gate arm, I mean, if it's gonna be utilized, that's fine. But I don't think we're ever gonna get a guard.
We don't know. It's very possible.
Okay, if we do get a guard, are we now going to remove the beautiful black gates? that
No.
we
No,
have?
No, it
no.
was never
So we're
there
gonna have
before.
two-
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. It's a-
The guard utilizes that to operate the stopping of traffic going through at the guardhouse. They have the ability to raise that arm, and if they don't raise that arm, it doesn't matter what the other gates are doing behind.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, keep your comments coming, and please get on the grounds committee. Give us your ideas. I mean,
Well,
we're open to
after the
anything.
last meeting, I put an email and John and I have been in touch. Yeah, I mean, I need to be on this committee because I have a lot of ideas. Also, I'm over my 3 minutes.
You're good.
In addition to aesthetics in the front, we need to accommodate the trucks. The building isn't gonna stop. And you can see, we can all see where these large trucks are continuously going over the grass. Is it called River Bluff, the community in our community?
Yeah.
So I was walking the other day and I'm like, that's exactly what we should do. An additional, I don't know if you ever noticed, right outside their driveway, the asphalt, they have an additional probably 2 feet of concrete that runs alongside the asphalt. Yes, to accommodate the width of these trucks. The trucks can't manage this corner. Right. And it's, I mean, day after day, and John knows because.
We call those the John Bank.
You know, it. Oh, I know. And it's.
We are very, of that, and we are looking it up.
Okay.
Now, perfect. I'll tell you that in the original design, which none of us were responsible for, the exit of this community is far wider than the entrance.
Yes.
Of this community.
Yes,
So that's a design flaw.
yes.
So we're suffering the consequences of that right
Right.
now. We are talking about.
And we also don't have a separate entrance for construction vehicles, which.
The developers decided to
Correct.
do that and put us in the position we're in now.
Yes.
I love the fact that if challenge us,
Mhm.
that's what we're here for. We have no problem with that.
I asked
I'm
for it,
not
so
challenging, and I don't want to be confrontational, but we have to do something.
bring your ideas, and I appreciate hearing them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Yes. How did I not
I thought
know?
he disappeared. I wonder what happened.
Who are you? I thought when I saw you leave, you were gone.
Didn't say anything?
Yes, Bob.
All right, yeah, folks. Number one, I appreciate what you guys on the Arc do. They do a great job. But like Les said during this, We got 30 some builds going on that 3 guys are taking care of. We got Kim doing admin work for these guys. And then they're also doing all the fences and the roofs and all that. We need that committee back for all the other things other than the new builds that should be autonomous to the art committee that just reports to the board. Let these guys handle the builds, let whoever's on that other committee handle all the repairs, the fences, the sheds, all that kind of stuff. Because all it's gonna do is help everybody in the community. You're gonna, number one, and nothing against these guys, that's too much power in 3 guys' hands. So we need more people looking at this. So everybody is getting what they need. That's it.
It's on our list.
Okay.
Many things we're trying to accomplish this year, but thank you for making a point of it. Appreciate it. Anyone else?
Anything else there?
Yes.
I forgot my name.
Hi, my name is Lorraine Nicholas. I'm new. I live on Eagle Crest. I would like to know if there's any conversation or talk about implementing a kayak rack. I did ask prior to moving in. I was told that I have to have a registered trailer to place a kayak. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because as a kayaker, we just slap wheels on it and roll out into the river or wherever you like to kayak. And it's just, so I gave suggestions and pictures of kayak racks that would be, I think, an asset since we spent so much money on a lift to go up and down on the river. Nobody wants to put their kayak on the car, you know, bring it down there, unload it, bring your vehicle back, walk back. We don't have enough parking space. My suggestion at that time was, I don't know the name of that little area by the kayak rack, the boat area, just to take one parking spot at the end. And I think it was space number 10 because they were going to give me number 9. I had to have a trailer to place kayak racks, and you can, and they were said, I was told that they were afraid that Oyster Harbour will be taking the brunt of any kayaks that will fall underneath. And I was like, no, that doesn't happen. The way they're built to slide out, not to fall under. And then they also make vertical kayak racks. So you just put them up, put them down. You can put 10 kayaks in one space with these racks. So it's just, I think it's sinful that we have a beautiful area, that was said before, and we have a beautiful lift up and down. But I mean, that's a long way for some of these homes to bring their kayak back and forth, especially when we're right there.
I was gonna say, where exactly are you suggesting that the kayak rack go? If it's
Where,
approved?
I don't know that little one, not this one here. There's another little, which one? Back storage function. I'd be more than happy to show you the cost of one. I think that, you know, people who do kayak will be able to make more usage of it since we already have it.
So that's any information that you've got.
Okay.
Show us.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, well, thank you very much for coming. This meeting is adjourned at whatever time it is. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
everyone. 7:15, 8:15.
Okay, so officially the meeting